Welcome to First Take. I'm Roz Goldon-Woode. Stephen A., Max, and Molly are on their way to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona to honor the troops for our Veterans Day show tomorrow. Today, coming to you live from New York City, we got Domonique Foxworth, Damian Woody. What's up, fellas?
What's going on? Chilling.
We got a lot of
We're going to hold
heavyweights.
this thing down.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. We got Janae coming through, Jay Williams coming through, Trey Young of the Hawks coming through, popping on the show.
Okay, we about to have this thing popping now.
Oh, yes, we are.
Is he going to debate or just answer questions? Because
No.
he can catch them too. Everybody can get it today. That's the type of mood I'm in.
Yeah, we should have him on as a debater, huh?
Yeah.
That would be fun. Ice Trey, you ready? All right, let's talk football first, though, okay? Good news for Chiefs fans and also all fans who can appreciate great football. Patrick Mahomes was a full participant in practice yesterday. The Chiefs plan to increase his workload this week before making a decision on his availability for Sunday's matchup versus the Titans. Here's head coach Andy Reid.
I can't give you an answer on how much, or we're going to see how he does, and then I think it's going to be day to day. I mean, we got to see how he handles. He didn't take a ton of reps last week, so we'll try to increase him here a little bit. You know, we're not going to put him out there unless he's safe to do it. You know, and so, but he's got to work. He's got to go through this work level and see and keep increasing it and see how he does.
A source told our Ed Werder that the 3-week mark is important for Mahomes' recovery because the chance that he can re-injure himself is reduced between 10 to 20%. So, Domonique, knowing all of this, how should the Chiefs handle Mahomes?
I mean, it's a tough situation. I understand if you want to win a Super Bowl this year, it's hugely important to get home field advantage or potentially get at least the first-round bye. And if they don't play him, it's going to be hard for them to get a first-round bye, even though Matt Moore's been playing well. Patrick Mahomes is that good. They need to play him. They need to kind of win out and maybe give up a game here or there to get that. If they don't have him, they won't get there. But I think you have to protect Patrick Mahomes' future going forward because he is possibly the best player in the NFL when he's healthy. Even when he's had bad games, they've been really great. So it's a risky proposition. If they think this is their best chance to win a championship, I could understand putting them out. But 10 to 20%, that's too high for me. To re-injure this and maybe injure something else because you're compensating for that, I don't want Patrick Mahomes out there at this point because of what he may mean to your team going forward next year and years to come.
Yeah, listen, the one thing when I think about this whole situation, and I agree with you as far as Patrick Mahomes is concerned, he means that much to the franchise. But the aspect that a lot of people don't talk about is Andy Reid and his ability to coach up his backup quarterbacks. I mean, we can go down the list from Chase Daniels to Nick Foles, Jeff Garcia, A.J. Feely, Corey. I mean, the list goes on and on. The way that Andy Reid just has this modest touch with quarterbacks. I mean, obviously we've seen how he's been able to develop Patrick Mahomes, but his ability to basically say, you know what, I'm not even making excuses when my guy goes down and to coach those guys up. Look what he's doing with Matt Moore right now. If you look at Matt Moore over the last 3 games, he's played really good football. And part of the reason that I feel like they should not play Patrick Mahomes is because the defense is starting to come along right now.
Yeah.
You look at how they played last week against the Minnesota Vikings. They literally shut down Dalvin Cook. So if you can continue to get good quarterback play out of Matt Moore and the defense continue to come along, then why not get your guy healthy? Because the one aspect that makes there's a lot of aspects that make Patrick Mahomes special, but the one thing to me that really separates him from a lot of guys is his ability to get outside the pocket and make those spectacular plays. And if he's still dealing with, you hear Andy Reid talking about his knee.
Yeah.
Why would you put him out there?
Because
if it's real shaky right now as far as his knee injury is concerned.
You want the goal is to win a Super Bowl, and things change from year to year. Right now they have a Super Bowl potential team. We assume that they'll continue to have that going forward, but the AFC is kind of weak right now. It may not be like that going forward. So I'm saying that this might be their best opportunity. And I understand Matt Moore is playing well and they could potentially continue to win, but time's going to run out on Matt Moore. Matt Moore was a scout a few months ago for a reason.
So
Matt Moore is going to continue
success right now.
I believe that it's nice, it's good, but you can't count on that. Matt Moore is not going to be able to sustain him throughout the rest of the season. And if they fall, right now they're a half a game, I think, in front of the Ravens for a first-round bye. If they fall out, the chances of them winning a Super Bowl, having to win 3 playoff games, goes down dramatically.
Listen, I understand that. But if there is one guy, and you touch upon this in the AFC is very watered down and weak outside of basically the Patriots and the Ravens. If there's one guy that can go into any environment, whether it's Foxborough, Baltimore, A healthy Patrick Mahomes in that offense can absolutely do that. And listen, the percentages say that if you get a bye, first round bye, your chance of getting to the Super Bowl goes up dramatically. But I know one thing, I'm confident if Patrick Mahomes is healthy at the end of the year, regardless of bye or if they got to play in the wild card, that team is good enough to win 3 straight and go to the Super Bowl.
I agree they're good enough, but it gets so much harder. There have been lots of great quarterbacks that have not been able to win 3 playoff games in a row. It's hard to do, and that's just to get to the Super Bowl and then win a Super Bowl. So this has been somewhat of a blessing because of him falling behind or him being injured. Other people have stepped up. Their defense have gotten better. They got back some pressure on the inside. I think all that has been great for them, but they are going to lose with Matt Moore at quarterback more likely than they will with Patrick Mahomes, and those losses are so hugely important going down the stretch. And next year, it won't be the same. We all say, and I agree with this, you want to protect Patrick Mahomes because he could win you a Super Bowl next year. He could win you a Super Bowl for the next 15 years. But the landscape will change. Right now, the landscape it's beautiful for them on this side, especially playing the Patriots. The Patriots are weaker right now than they've been in the past, in my opinion.
I want to ask you, put on an executive hat.
Right.
Is it more important to play for this season and have the opportunity perhaps to work to secure that first round bye, or play it safe with literally possibly the face of the NFL, certainly of your franchise, and all the many years in the future? Which would you choose for?
Yeah, I think that the risk of putting him out there, potentially re-injuring himself or injuring something else, that renders this season moot. But I do think that with the entire season to recover, he'll be back next season fine. So I think that it might be advantageous to get him out there and see what he can do, because if you don't put him out there, you don't get that first round bye, you are not going to win the Super Bowl. It's plain, as simple as that to me.
See, that's where we disagree at, because, again, when Patrick Mahomes is healthy, and all I'm saying right now is let's keep buying him time. We just heard Andy Reid talk about, waiting 3 weeks, it goes down 10, 20%. Like, we're talking about a dislocated kneecap here. So if I'm able to buy more time with Matt Moore, and again, with that defense coming along, which has been the real reason, even when Patrick Mahomes was playing, we saw the struggles of the Kansas City Chiefs with that bad defense. But if that defense starts to come along, I think that if Patrick Mahomes is as close to 100% as possible, they can go into any environment and win.
Do you agree with Dom's point that the first round bye is as important as he's making it out to be for the Chiefs, that they need to have that in order to win a Super Bowl?
Well, listen, I've been on Patriots team where we had first round byes, and it's huge. That one less game is huge. And then on top of that, being at home, I mean, it's tremendous, no question. But my point is, Patrick Mahomes, when he's healthy,
it doesn't matter.
It's that special. It doesn't matter. We've seen him going to Foxborough, okay? Even with the Patriots not playing one time, and they won by only 3 points. Like, that's the type of fear that the Kansas City Chiefs instill in other opponents.
I want to protect Patrick Mahomes at all costs. But the more I think about it, the more I believe that if they don't bring him back, they don't win the Super Bowl. If they do bring him back and he gets hurt, they don't win the Super Bowl. The only chance you have of winning the Super Bowl, I believe, is if you bring Patrick Mahomes back and you get that first round bye. And if you re-injure him, the assumption is, as long as Patrick Mahomes is okay with this, the assumption is if you re-injure him, you have an entire year to recover him. I think it's highly unlikely that he's going to have some sort of injury that's going to put him out for next season. So it's either you don't play him and you don't win the Super Bowl, or you play him, he gets hurt, and you don't win the Super Bowl. That's all they care about in Kansas City right now.
I'm not sitting here and say, let's stash him until the end of the season. I'm literally taking this thing week to week. Okay, Matt Moore continues to play well. Defense continues. Well, let's see if we can steal another week here. If we can continue to do that, and Patrick Mahomes continues to get healthier, then why not go that route?
The problem is you only know if you can steal another week when it's too late. Like, if you start losing, then it's too late. This isn't the NBA or Major League Baseball. One game, there's only 16 of them. It is hugely important. The implications of losing a game is hugely important for where you land in the postseason. And we can name the teams that have won the Super Bowl coming from the wild card round because it's so infrequent. So I agree, maybe a healthy Patrick Mahomes might be able to do it, but it's more likely that he won't. So if they want to win the Super Bowl, they need to win some more games. And as much talent as they have on offense, it's going to catch up to Matt Moore at some point. He's been great the last couple of weeks. But again, there was a reason why Matt Moore started this season before this season was an NFL scout. He was going to look at quarterbacks because he is not an NFL quarterback at this point.
But if you put him in and he gets injured, you're going to get killed.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the job. You get killed when you make decisions.
You may set your franchise back.
I mean, I don't think it sets their franchise back too bad as long as we're assuming that the injury is something he can recover for before the next season.
Who's to say? You got something before we go?
I'm betting on Andy Reid. That's why I'm betting on Andy Reid, the coach.
Too bad Matt Moore's got to throw them things.